increases that will be destructive to our economy and result in more lost jobs. Unfortunately, the Democrat majority in the legislature has chosen to ignore these alternatives. You are right to ask why they preferred raising taxes instead of reducing labor costs associated with state government workers. To help close the revenue shortfall, my administration took proactive steps to restrict spending, freeze state government hiring, restructure debt, and scale back ineffective programs, resulting in over $1 billion in savings. In addition, we proposed several revenue enhancement measures and the use of new federal stimulus funds. We also proposed labor savings of about $140 million in each year of the two-year budget as a way to prevent layoffs of public employees. Because the state's annual labor costs are about $3.6 billion, the savings we are seeking amounts to approximately 4% a year. This is the same kind of sacrifice that has already been made by union and non-union workers in the private sector all across our state. Unfortunately, too many lawmakers have allowed their sense of obligation to the public employee unions to obstruct their view of the bigger picture and what's best for our economy and all the people of Hawaii. During this time of shared sacrifice, lawmakers have shown little willingness to compromise. Instead, they are doing everything they can to pull the rug out from under the labor negotiations process so that public employees remain completely untouched by the enormous economic challenges we should all be facing together. Legislators are gambling with the future of our state because of one constituency. Unfortunately, misinformation about labor negotiations has been reported in the media and spread by some public employee union leaders. This only serves to stoke employee fears and compromise what is supposed to be, by mutual agreement, a confidential process. I have not and will not negotiate in the media. Negotiations are ongoing, and we are making some positive headway despite the obstructionist tactics of some legislators who are supposed to be representing all taxpayers. It is important to stress that labor negotiations are not an attack on public employees. We are not trying to, as some Democrats have asserted, balance the budget on the backs of public employees. We are asking for a shared sacrifice so we don't have to break the backs of taxpayers. I and members of my administration have great respect for Hawaii's public workers and the work that they do. This is why we have offered wage increases of between 16 and 29% over the past 4 years when times were good. This is also why our current budget recommendations include no layoffs. I believe the people of Hawaii are looking to us to set a positive example of collaboration and to agree on labor contracts that are fair to public employees, but that also reflect a sense of shared sacrifice during these historically difficult economic times. I remain confident we will still be able to achieve this goal. More than ever, Hawaii's elected officials, including myself, Lieutenant Governor Iona, and our state lawmakers, need to do more than merely react to what is right in front of us. Even as we work to deal with a crisis that is immediate in nature, we need to be thinking ahead about the long-term future of our state. It was therefore with deep disappointment that I learned that 4 major initiatives we introduced in the 2009 legislature did not pass this session, each under distressing circumstances. These initiatives would have modernized our state's long-neglected infrastructure and contributed to Hawaii's pursuit of a clean energy future while creating thousands of new jobs and helping our struggling construction industry. Due to a lack of foresight, and without any explanation as to why these bills were killed, Hawaii will fall behind other states instead of fulfilling its potential to be a top visitor attraction as well as a center of business and innovation. We've put off good initiatives for another year at a time when we simply cannot afford to delay planning for the future any longer. The Department of Transportation introduced an innovative plan to modernize our highways, but in the final days of the session, this bill, which had the support of the chairs of the House and Senate Transportation Committees, died. The public, which has suffered in ever-increasing traffic, is right to ask, how come? The Highways Modernization Plan would have allowed the state to embark on an ambitious improvement program for our highways, saving motorists time and money, and saving lives by focusing on highway safety. The 6-year, $4.2 billion plan had a built-in funding structure that only would have kicked in after job growth had increased by 1% for 2 consecutive quarters. The plan was sensitive to the financial pressures residents are feeling right now. Only after the economy had begun to recover would modest increases in fuel and vehicle taxes and fees have taken effect. Furthermore, these increases would have been offset by hundreds of dollars in fuel savings because of less time spent sitting in traffic.